like you had to kind of like keep on toes if something does happen and just overcome those issues.
Okay. So does your job involve being on the production line most of the time? Do you have to travel? How has your job changed over the years?
So now, I guess in the last few years of my life, it's transitioned from an engineer to a lot more, I guess, senior management and executive roles. So my current role, I'm coming close to 1 year, and it's a general management role, which is still running an engineering company. But it's also looking at the overall, the bigger picture, the making sure that we are growing revenue, making sure we are still growing it in sales, making sure our KPIs are met like as an overall organization for, because it's looking after entire New Zealand operations. So yeah, that's where my, I guess a little bit of my skill set has shifted in the last few years since I've taken these operations manager, general management sort of roles. And traveling is there, yes, because Reynolds is a global company, and we've got factories in like across the globe, I guess, Spain, UK, America, India as well, actually in Tamil Nadu, which is good. And
Okay.
yeah, in Gundalur. So hoping one day I can come and see that factory as well. And yeah, like traveling is there because you want to see what's new in the world, what's new in terms of the chain world. Because chain could be usually when I was not even part of Renault, I used to think chain is probably more like the bicycle chain. That's what we'll be sort of like working on and improving. But like when you come into these industries and you realize that like wow, chain is actually everywhere. Like it's in the elevators, it's in the tunnel freezers, it's in the meat industry, it's in timber industry, cutting logs, carrying logs, and bucket elevators, theme parks like so Disney World and everything of the world's Renault chain is actually used in those sort of fields as well. So it's quite yeah, quite a unique brand, I guess. And being part of that, I definitely feel quite blessed to be able to see some of these new developments and innovations in the chain world.
Okay. So in terms of one of the issues that I think companies in the West or the developed countries have is that their price points are invariably much higher than the markets which they need to tap into, which
Mm.
is, let's say, it's in Africa, it's in India, it's in China, and China is obviously a major competitor to a whole lot of industries.
Yeah, yeah.
So, is keeping costs down? Does that get to be part of a very important aspect of the equation? Because if you want to
Yeah,
expand your market, you need to be out there in a place where the costs are competitive.
yeah, it's a bit of a catch 22, I guess, because you want to
Yes.
grow and you want to compete with your competition, and you want to also increase your margins, but at the same time, you want to keep your costs down and you want to grow in sales. So it's a balancing act, I guess. You want a bigger market share, but yeah, the Chinese exporters or suppliers into our New Zealand market is quite a lot here, and the market share is sort of split across quite a few different industries. So tapping into these customers or end users could be pretty challenging. But I think that's where we have a bit of an edge because Reynolds is a chain manufacturers. So instead of just a supplier or an exporter or importer, it's more actually giving a more technical solution to the end user. And I think that's where, as a company, even globally, we grow quite a lot. And I think that's where in New Zealand right now, I'm trying to, educate my staff and even like the bigger players is that, we can really do a lot in New Zealand because having that global name to our us really gives us an advantage over like some of the competition that we have in the market. So yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty hopefully work in progress at this stage, but we can get a bigger market share like any general manager will want.